just ain't no good.
Well, I guess if you say so, I'll have to pack my things and go.
That's right, hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Well,
Don't you come back no more.
What you said?
Don't you come back no more.
I didn't understand you.
Don't you come back no more.
You can't do that.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you
Hit
say?
the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Oh woman, don't treat me so mean. You're the meanest old woman that I've ever seen. I guess if you say so, I'll have to pack my things and go.
That's right, hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Now, baby, listen, baby, don't you treat me this way. Well, I'll be back on my feet someday.
Don't care if you do, cause it's understood. You ain't got no money, you just ain't no good.
Well, I guess if you say so, I'll have to pack my things and go.
That's right, hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Well,
Don't you come back no more.
what you said?
Don't you come back no more.
I didn't understand you.
Don't you come back no more.
You can't mean
Yeah, it's 5 minutes, 30 seconds after 8 o'clock in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's Tuesday the 14th. Yeah, it's right, spring, right in the month. It's Tuesday, and tonight's program Feedback is sponsored by Basil's Bar, and you will be with us from now until 5 minutes on to 10 o'clock. Good night to you in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, regionally and internationally. Could I ask you a question? Yeah, I guess I could. What is the issue been troubling you over the last couple of days? What is the issue been troubling you the last couple of days? Well, I came to one conclusion, that Vincentians are weary. They're fed up, they're exhausted about the issue of crime, especially homicides and killings. Everywhere you go, you're hearing somebody lost their life. And we will talk about that tonight a little bit, because we just can't lie down and play dead. We have to fight the fight. And I could remember a few years ago, I was listening to a radio station. I can't remember which one of the radio stations, but I recognize a familiar voice. But up to today, I'm still trying to figure out who wore this familiar voice, because he made a statement, a profound statement, and he said that the level of crime that taking place at the time when he made his statement, he has two persons that he is laying the blame straight at their feet. And the familiar voice, who up until they're trying to figure it out, said that the two persons he is blaming is the former Prime Minister, Sir James Mitchell. And the person also said that the responsibility lies with the former Commissioner of Police, Randolph Toussaint. When I heard this statement, I tried to find out who made this statement, but like I say, for some reason, nobody have a copy of that statement, so we could only come to a conclusion it may be a familiar person. But what happened? When I heard this statement, I said that is an unfortunate statement for one to make. And what it's big, it's made, it's past tense, right? And then, you know, ever since that statement was made, and the statement drew the attention to most Vincentian that we have two persons we could put the blame at their feet and say they are responsible for the issue of crime. Former Prime Minister Sir James Mitchell and former Commissioner of Police Randolph Tussey. And when I heard that statement when it was made, I say, that's an unfortunate statement because it is a statement just based on politics. And I noticed over the last 8 months of the European administration, people came to a conclusion, we will accept the familiar voice statement and we will point our hands at those two persons. And then the Europe came to office in 2001. And then the leadership of the Europe said that they recognize that there's a need for us to fight crime and criminology. And the team said that they will be tough on crime and the cause of crime. Well, I don't know if you paid any attention, but I am totally dissatisfied with the outcome of crime and criminology over the 24 years, 8 months of leadership of the European team. And the European team was not an ordinary team, you know. No, it had some top shots. Dr. Rav Gonsalves, who became the Prime Minister, was one of the best lawyers in St. Vincent and Grenadines. In the latter part of the career of Sir Vincent Beach, he became the advisor to Dr. Rav Gonsalves as Prime Minister on the issue of crime. We had Suboto Caesar, who is a lawyer. We had persons like Senator James. And, you know, people were worried and people were hoping that the European will find ways or the better to deal with the issue of fighting that menace that has and had a negative impact on today's societies. And now we have a new government with a new Minister of National Security. And I guess, well, currently he's the acting Prime Minister. So I hope tonight he takes some time off to listen to me, because you always listen to me every Tuesday night. But if you don't, you probably get the recording on YouTube, because we are being broadcast live on YouTube. And I can recall ever hear Senator, Major, Minister of National Security, Sinclair Laycock, making a negative outburst on the issue of crime and the failure of the Europe to deal with it. And I am not saying that he didn't, you know. I say I never heard him. Today he's the new Minister of National Security. And I get the impression from Vincent and they expect him, who served in the opposition for quite some time. First, he was a senator, suggested to be appointed by Annie Eustace. That came, and he stuck around, and Dr. Gonsalves said, once I'm in office, you could never win a seat in Central Kingston. But that only make Laycock get bad. He can win the seat overwhelmingly. Up to now, you can't find Elvis Charles. You can't find... Wait, Marvin there? Marvin. Is it Marvin name? The footballer. Oh my God. Blows like Sassy. And so Vincent have an expectation of Major Laker, so that he may find he may work out with himself and the rank and file of the police force that they could deal with the issue of fighting crime, especially killings and homicides. And is it fair to say that Vincent should expect that from him? No, I don't think it's fair, unfair. I think it's fair because we were promised that. And it never took place under the ULP. We still see this spillover. Some people who supporting the NDP is saying what's taking place today. I am not accurate at my figures, so I should say that we are approximately 8 to 9 homicides so far for the year. Some of you may say 10, but I count my fingers up until it reached 9. And we are upset that nobody seemed to find the solution. Dr. Gonsalves, when he became Prime Minister, somebody will wonder if I would say that he tried. I would say yes, try in a sense, because he had former Commissioner Miller, then Michael Charles, then we had Mr. Hathaway, then we had our friend and our neighbor, Colin John. Today, President Commissioner is a spill-off of Ralph Gonsalves and his appointment, because most people don't know, you know, the Prime Minister don't have to consult with anybody when it comes to the appointment of the Commissioner of Police, okay? So I'm saying that to say to you that when the sitting commissioner was suggested to be appointed as commissioner, Ralph Gonsalves gave him serious thought and said, yes, this is the man who can do the job. Now we have a new Prime Minister, a new Minister of National Security. Some people anticipate there might have been a change of the commissioner, but as far as I'm concerned, I think he's trying, and they should give him a chance to see if he could persevere to make a difference. But crime. Killings, homicide. And here you saying, Kingsley, but you didn't talk about murders. No. I don't use that strong word, because when somebody is accused of killing somebody, they have to have an investigation. When the investigation is concluded, the investigation officers will send the file to the DPP, he or she, back in then, and today, the new DPP will go over that investigation file with a fine-teeth comb and say, yes, there is enough evidence and paper here to see if you could convince a jury. Then they may have a preliminary inquiry to see if that the accused person has enough evidence so he could be charged, and then they will charge the person for the death of the other person that we call murder. Until the person is tried and convicted and exhausts all his or her appeal, I still maintain that the person is charged for killing and a homicide. But people would like to hear that loose word, murder. And not every killing would be deemed as a murder. And I sure it have other words, people know what happened by the court and what they could say. Oh, well, there's not enough evidence for charge the person for a murder, so we could try a lesser charge, which is manslaughter. And, you know, it's just too much killing. And we are left to assume that the killings and homicide that we are hearing about is always drugs related today. I can't remember if in the right context when the statement was made that we don't have any gangs here. Superintendent Trevor Bailey, A.K. Buju, say that we have gangs here. Well, he involved in fighting crime, so he's supposed to know. And those are the persons who should inform the Prime Minister, and Dr. Gonsalves did not feel at the time that we have any gangs there. What do I think? Yes, some worthless good for nothing person killing people and creating too much homicide in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we have to make a demand, and the new Minister of National Security and the rank and file of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force to deal with the issue confronting us. But the question you have to ask yourself, how would St. Kelly Cook, the Commissioner of Police, and the other rank and file could make an assumption that somebody is going to kill somebody tonight? So when we say we would like to see them put things in place, really? Could they really do that? Does the evidence suggest that the rank and file and St. Kelly Cook may know, or should know, or could know somebody is going to get killed? And that is why I told you, when that statement was made by the familiar voice, and I tell you I don't know who the person is, if you know, when you call or mention it, I don't want you to remind me of that. That is a vexation in my spirit. And in the interest of keeping this program clean to where it is, that is why I'm not calling any particular name when the statement was made. And if you listen and you plan to do that, please don't upset me. Okay? I have to protect me, I have to protect WeFM, and I also have to responsibility to be responsible. I sure you get the message. I don't have to read and spell for you. I sure you get the message that that statement was made by a familiar voice, a powerful familiar voice, but the accused person in my mind said that he never made that statement. So I don't want you to justify that statement was made, because there is no evidence to suggest that statement was made, okay? And it's really unfair that what some of us did when Dr. Gonsalves was Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, where we point our fingers straight at him and say, man, you have to take responsibility for the killing that took place over the 8 months period of your administration. The NDP is just doing about 4 months, just over 60 days, and they have approximately 8 to 9 homicides. Should we blame St. Kelly Cook? It's quite obvious we can't point our fingers at him, because he can't be here, there, over there, and see there that people is going to kill one another. Of course, if he could have deal with it, he'd have deal with it, and we'd have zero. So this blame game that the NDP rank and file and their supporters point at Ralph Gonsalves over the last 24 years, 8 months, I think it is unjustified. Today, I still think it's unjustified to point the fingers at Dr. Friday, Deputy Prime Minister St. Kelly Cook, who is also the Minister of National Security, and the Commissioners of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. Oh, and he will say, Kingsley, who to blame? Really, we should look for people to blame? Yeah, you should look for people to blame, but that blame game has not bring any success over the 24 years, 4 months of Dr. Gonsalves' leadership of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Minister of Legal Affairs and Minister of National Security. So how all of a sudden now we should just point our fingers at the new Minister of National Security and say, well, when I've been over there, I've been promised that I'll do everything. Well, hey, it is easier to govern St. Vincent and the Grenadines from opposition than when the party becomes government. So what do you suggest? Well, here what happened. Dr. Gonsalves started when he tried to improve the magistrate. We had more magistrates appointed, and we had some good choices of DPP. I could name 2. Colin John and Roger Gaspar. Remember Roger Gaspar from Trinidad and Tobago? Sally Ann McDowell from a Fayhall, she's now a judge. I understand that she's confirmed in her new appointment as a High Court judge. And commissioners of police who sat they try. You may say they try, but not hard enough. That is probably why we haven't this. How we could help as Vincentian who care about their country. Well, why you all been out of shape, Kingsley, been talking about crime. Well, I had a son. His name is Kingsley Jr., freelance from Mespo. Lost his life by the gun. Up to today, Buju Banton and Colin, John can't tell me who killed my son. I had an accused person in mind. I understand that somebody went and said, okay, you think you're bad? You're gone. And it's about information. The police could only work on certain information if you have it and you give it to them. But Kingsley, you putting me at risk. Information is good, but how shall we get the information disseminated to the relative authority in the police force? First thing, you have to pick a policeman or a woman who you can trust. Remember, I say who you can trust. Kingsley, that might be good because I heard you complain about that once. Yes, I made a complaint to former Commissioner Miller about a particular police. And the police go back and tell the person that is me and the next fellow taxi driver who gave him the information. Far from the truth, you know. He just showed some spot for catch whale and he pointed finger straight to us. And if I were offended, of course I was offended because when I reported it to former Commissioner Miller, you know what he said to me? Oh, you can point out the post over there, but you don't know his name, so we can entertain your accusation. I said, what the hell am here? I could point the post and say, look, the man there. But because Mr. Miller stick by the books and say, you can't give me a... But I could have go fight the man name and call him by the name, so I just try to be honest. So, information. And then you listen there, you say, Kingsley, information in these modern days could be disseminated across. But could you comment on the confidentiality of the police force? Well, that's a big word. Confidentiality. I can't even spell that, but I could put on it. Is that lacking in the police force? Well, my experience of telling or sharing information to police is a manifestation of the lack of confidentiality in the police force. You know, these men and women come into my place about 7 times. I call the Calico police station, 45208, that's the number. They want to know if I just come off the washroom, if I had something to eat, what time you're calling, what time. The mountain is probably information to help them to solve the crime. But when you have an accused person calling to make an inquiry or a report about an intruder into their house, you have to go and give them a whole heap of red tape. Did you see the person? Or is the person 15 feet tall? Or how is the person black or white? Well, I don't know. I was looking for teeth for them in the house. I couldn't identify him. Let me tell you something. They came, they searched up the house. I don't know if they were looking for something I didn't have. And we haven't heard from them. 7 times somebody intrude my place. Things you have a gun? No, I don't have a gun. You ever apply for a license? Well, Commissioner Miller was hard on giving a license. I was not a friend, and I was not a friend of the ULP, so I couldn't run to Dr. Gonsalves, now the Minister of National Security, when Sylvester Beach and advisor. So, I'm in the same position like Stephen Jokins. You never get it, and you ain't getting it now. So, information, confidentiality. Those are two watchwords that the public should use to see if they could help the police deal with the issue of killings and homicide. And people listen and say, "Boy, Kingsley, you may be right, you know, but you setting me up to get a, what is it? Well, I can't call you all the true console. I go just spell CUT, and then you could put the double if you want. People could say, you crazy, me can't go do that. You want people go ambush by night time? And then it has another thing that we grow up with. Be your brother's keeper. Wow, that gone through the window since you and I became adults. That was back then. Even as raising a child today, and you see a young girl, as them boys used to say, courting or trying to get a boyfriend, and you meet the parents, and if it's an aggressive parent, like Miss Murphy, she could say, boy, me no want you from you know. Me put any macro behind me daughter. We don't leave me daughter alone. Oh, you got she because she pretty. And then, so we had a whole heap of negatives when we try to assist people. And all our intention were good, you know, because when you get big, you have a choice to make. But we as parents used to try to see if we could share some information to make sure that you point your child, especially your girl child, in the right direction. You don't want to see them walk out in the yard with a vagabond holding hand and say, Mommy, this is my boyfriend. And why don't watch your face? Your face like an old dirty cocos bag full of what this. You understand? And if me ever had a girl child and she tell me she had a boyfriend, me ask she 3 names. Me say, what's your title? She tell me who. I said, what? If your title is Gonsalves, okay. Vera and Grace, yeah, man, welcome. Come and do anything you want to do, man. You could even sit at my table. But when I hear about the other ordinary names and you pull like church mice, go away, business man. And me tell you something, we went through certain difficulties as parents and young men where we try to do the right thing. I had one son. I have a daughter also. But, you know, I wish I had about 4 children. I have access to children because I have 2 nieces listening to me, Crystal and Destiny. But because they're so far away, I don't have any direct impact on their life. But I know their mother is very disciplined, and she will instill some of the discipline that she got from my mother and my father. While my father, she wasn't really such a good friend. And I have other one in Trinidad, her name is Charlene. Well, I don't know if she respect me, but she kind of afraid me. So that means that she should pay attention to me, what I didn't say. But it is just mind-boggling to see how today's society are so irresponsible. We used to go up in a mango tree, you know, feed the mango, see if the mango ripe, and come down and stone it, you know. You see how we were immature, and then what we used to do, when you're small, you go up, you see a bow pick mango, well, then tell me a bow pick, but then a rat bite them and put leftist pyros inside it. But because we so unconscious of that, we pick the bow pick mango, as we say, cut out the piece, wash it off, and eat it, and everything went well. Now until we get big, we understand, boy, that chances they expose you to leptospirosis. Being responsible comes with responsibility. And the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines have to be more responsible when dealing with crime. Like I say, you have to have a policewoman or a policeman who you trust. It may have a justice of peace like Boma Down Leo, who you couldn't go to. It may have a lawyer like Jomo Thomas that you could share your thoughts with. And you know that your thoughts not going beyond those people. And all in the position of fighting crime and criminology. Because let me tell you something, crime whether it has an impact on you directly, it's having a negative impact on St. Vincent and Grenadines. You know, the end of the month, we are coming to the end of our tourist season. And the taxi men and taxi ladies will say to you, we didn't have a good tourist season. I don't buy that. It was a bit challenging this year, but every time the tourist season finished and we don't have a tourist related crime, I just say we had an excellent tourist season. And so far, it's coming to the end of this month and we haven't heard any tourist related incident. And that is good that Vincentians are keeping the eye on the importance of the fragility or the fragile nature of the tourism industry, and they themselves are making that direct effort to make sure that when the tourists come here, they will go back and say St. Vincent and Grenadines, especially Bakeway, is the best place to be in the world. That's how I look at it, because I realize this tourism dollar, indirectly and directly, means a lot. Means a lot. I took some time off Sunday morning to take a guest down to Sanders Resort. I met on the way to Sanders Resort about 4 to 15 vendors. The shelves are well designed, well painted, and the presentation look well. That is an indirect impact that the Sanders tourism industry is having a positive thing. While I'm catching my health to survive, I'm digging a hole to full a hole, but because of the nature and the competitive nature of the taxi business, I'm doing less by far, because more people are involved in the tourism industry from a taxi standpoint. Is it a good thing? It's a good thing. I have to try to understand that all must be fed, and once people spend money and get their duty-free vehicle, they must get work. So the effort is important. I passed up at Gibson Corner. There's a guy, he does a bit of vendor in there. He reached down by Fiddle before you just have to pass through where Juma had that campaign, a guy sell water out there. So people are making an effort to make an extra dollar. And it's important. And if we can do that for the tourism industry, as Combined Vincentians, we can do even better if we want to deal with the issue of fighting criminals who are involved with killing people and the homicide rate. Because there's something, it is going to get around that St. Vincent is being riddled with too much killings and homicide. And let me tell you something, that does have a negative impact on the tourism dollar. When people come in my taxi and at the Aga Industrial Port, you welcome them and they will say, could I ask a question? I will say, of course. Could you describe the crime situation? And I say, anyway in the world there is crime. And you as an individual have to be careful and remind yourself you're not in heaven. I'm not going to say, oh, well, we've been having this killing day, we've been having this killing. Can they going back and say something to record, you know? So you have to be very careful. If the person persists, I would say, try contact the Ministry of National Security. I'll go to the Ministry of Tourism, ask about shot. And shot is in the best position to answer you from a tourism standpoint. Not me. So when we see all these killings taking place and these so-called newspapers print them on the front page and this and that, you go to Barbados, sometimes they have more killing than us. You see it in the front page? No way. No way. It's all about sensationalism and who can report it first. But what the negative impact is having on St. Vincent and Grenadines. Hello, I've been operating a taxi since 1983. Every single day, I work every day. The only time I work, I would get sick with COVID-19 vaccine. And I hope that Rav Gonsalves and decided to compensate me for that. And I'm walking every day, every day of my life. Hello. Like I say, I dig in a hole to full a hole. I can't get rich, I've been trying to get rich since I started to walk. Up and now. If I go to buy a vehicle, I have to go to the credit union or the Bank of St. Vincent and Grenadines for them to give me at least 3/4 of the money that I plan to buy a vehicle. I don't have it. Although I've been working all my years. Full time getting job, but when you're in a struggling economy and when you're poor, it's like hell. So I'm hoping while you listen, you may not agree with me, but look at what's taking place on the negative side of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. People come here and they go to Darkview Falls. They go to the Falls of Bolen. They go to Montreal Gardens and they give us high praises. But behind that, they don't think they're watching and listening to see why we're having so much homicide rate, why Vincentians see not to demand. But could we demand a new Minister of National Security to assist us? He may say he needs our assistance to fight that menace. And I share his view. And let me tell you something. Over the last 24 years, 8 months of the ULP, let me just make a bold statement. I think that the ULP, the NDP, played too much politics with the issue of crime. And when they wanted to blame Ralph Gonsalves and Colin John and RMB, it was just being mischievous. Today, a minority of the ULP people will say, oh, well, let's think I take that in it. Okay, I know what I mean. He been too bright when he been out he tell people he want to come Minister of National Security before he win his seat. Well, let's deal with the issue of crime and they go throw the big word, more or less. They take that in the tail. But that is also having a negative impact on every individual Vincentian. Because I believe if and when the NDP get work, it will benefit St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And the blame game, oh, Dr. Gonsalves should have been responsible, Dr. Gonsalves was responsible. You will have the blind supporters of the NDP saying, oh, you think he been bad. Now you will hear the unconscious and grounded one them for the NDP say, well, let's take that upon themselves now. And then think, boy, me sorry for you. Me envy your job, Because every killing that takes place in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I know it bother you. But it bother me. Sometimes when I go home at night, when I reach my gate, I just pass straight, Especially if I see people coming on, because I go in up, put on my bright light to see if I could recognize who the person is. If you ain't careful, I pass straight again, Because you just can't take any chance. It's that people just cuss me. What a big man, they going to blow you and give you a ride. Oh Lord, I don't mind give you a ride, but me don't know you. Me can't take any chance. Sometimes you're going to be Kingsley. Well, if you're supposed to call me boy, I know the person know me from Funkton, Billy, and them places. I know the person know me well. Because one night, I was coming from a particular area, Bible to be precise, and I hear somebody say, boy, oi. And I recognize his voice to be Dennis Daniel. So I passed straight and I turn back. You know what you tell me? I know you heard my voice and I know you was going to turn back. Like that, I'll take a chance. But if you just shout out Kingsley, oh, another bigger guy from April, call him Kingsley, you stop. Me ain't stopping. And if you stop in the middle of the road, you're dead like a dog. You understand? Because I can't take any chance. You understand what I'm saying? So don't make noise with people who have a vehicle and for some reason they pass you straight. They may not recognize you. They have to think about them and their family. He got a taxi man, he died, he's called him Tom. A few years ago when the airport was operating honestly. Somebody come and hire a taxi, but he was an ex-police officer. So he invited the gentleman to pull in, sit down in front. But the man insists that he want to ride in the back. You know what Tom did? Experience. He put him by the Kittens police station and tell him that when I saw the man got a knife long like a sword. What are you going to do with that? Japanese somebody don't know the word? You understand? So you have to be really careful. And we have to be our brothers keeper and stop pointing our fingers and say, well, somebody he have to do something. Well, I don't come to a conclusion because it's a people. I show you the system when you hear about killings. Well, they be depend some kind of drug or somebody do something, so they take what you get. It necessarily might not be that way. And if it is that way, God shall leave our judgment unto him. Who are you to judge people? I went by a particular place here tonight. Not gonna call the name. And when I get there, like it had a manorama. If you see young man, you know what you take me do? Me call for a higher room there, and me leave it there, and me ease out. Me say, man, this look too friendly. It's the most young men I see one place who ain't drinking strong beverages, chasing with Red Bull and all that kind of thing. I said, trouble there. When you look so, some of them they burn in some chalice, big like a post. I say, see me, here enough for me. When I go back in next day, one of the guys under me, my bartender, he said, what happened last night? I said, boy, I am my feet to save. And me have to protect me. Because, remember, it's that people just don't like you. You think you're safe? It's that people who just don't like you. What do them? Not one single thing. You might be progressive on the surface and they watch you and say, watch, he buy a new vehicle, we think he more than we. And that envious thought in their mind trigger them off. They really mean it, but two of them come together and they start, they have to deal with you, He has some sleeping police band on the newly constructive Carriacou Road. You have to actually stop before you get to the vehicle. If you ain't careful, you gotta drag them over. You know what he does do? He had another smooth road in Carriacou. I try to avoid using the sleeping police because you have to actually slow right down to get over them. If it's a Friday night where the road is more busy, I may use that. But once I see I go home tonight, I use the smoother road. And not because I hear I say I can use it tonight. That doesn't mean I can use it tonight. I might take a different route, just to be careful. Because you have a responsibility to protect you from people who you don't know plotting negativism against you. And the question is, why are you doing that? You don't know? How the Minister of National Security could know somebody is trying to perpetrate crime against you? So we can't go around saying we should blame the NDP for not doing what is expected of them. I am saying to you, I am expecting that the NDP will find solutions, will find ways to see if we can lessen the negative impact on the homicide and killings rate. But besides our expectation of the authority, we have to make an effort to be a brother's keeper. You don't have to shout across your and say, hey, I see a man up there looks suspicious. We have so much technology these days with phone. A phone could take a picture of somebody and the flash and go off. That's information right there. You could have this system, you have everything recording. Now them fancy new vehicle now come with what you call them? Camera for the dashboard, we record everything inside and outside. And all that technology is for the user's benefit and to assist them in the eventuality if the accident took place with them. And one thing I noticed that things I don't do again, I used to annoy me. If they see you coming, they go jaywalk on the crossing and hey them, bounce spinner, you got insurance money? I used to say, these people foolish if they only know we're stopping a vehicle. It's just some brakes they will and some rubber, you know. Bounce spinner, you have insurance money? And some don't get bounce and they get thing, you know. You understand? You first have to make contact with the two vehicles coming on the opposite side. But should we be our parents? Because I can remember when I leave home back then, my mom was going to say, when you go by the pedestrian crossing, that is your right. Just go across. Out of ignorance, you probably go and do what they say because you figure the driver may see you and increase his braking and you go across. But what about when he didn't see you? Or what about when he mash the brakes, he better go straight 3 foot, boom, your foot brake. Money could fix back your foot here, but you always have a limb. Your foot brake, that's it. And we have to come together. We have to come together to deal with the issue. The time in St. Vincent again is 11 minutes, 30 seconds on to 9 o'clock. You listen to tonight's program, Feedback. It is sponsored by Basil's Bar. Let's take a break and come back with your calls at 4579997, 5329997.
Whatever you are celebrating, birthdays, anniversaries, engagements, retirement, or just celebrating life, the place to be is at Basil's Bar Kingstown. Established for over 38 years, we are open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with an exquisite ambiance. We have a set menu and 3 a la carte menus to choose from, and we are flexible to all requests. We go above and beyond to serve you. Basil's Bar Kingstown, where it's more than just a meal, it's an adventure. Call for reservations at 457-2713.
It's Feedback with host Kingsley De Freitas. This and every Tuesday night from 8 p.m. for 2 full hours, right here on WeFM 99.9. Join him as he brings different guests weekly on this informative and interactive program. It's Feedback. To be a part of the Feedback program, call us at 457-9997 or send us a WhatsApp at 457-9997. It's Feedback. It's Feedback with host Kingsley De Freitas. This and every Tuesday night from 8 p.m. for 2 full hours, right here on WeFM 99.9. Join him as he brings different guests weekly on this informative and interactive program. It's Feedback. To be a part of the Feedback program, call us at 457-9997 or send us a WhatsApp at 457-9997. It's Feedback.
9 minutes, 30 seconds on to 9 o'clock. You know, what we took the break, and the break is important because we have to play the royalty for Basil's Bar and its sponsors. Somebody asked a question on Facebook. Kingsley, do you pay attention to the issue of the cameras and what the police are doing? Well, the police have to do their job, okay? And when they find persons who break the law, they'll have to do an investigation of the accused person and try to put a charge. And let me tell you something, if you don't know, police recommend, but police is not the one who really illustrate the issue of charging. It's the DPP office. And somebody's asking, Kingsley, are you satisfied with the level of competence in terms of policing, finding the perpetrators? We just had some, we call them the high daytime, broad daylight, talking it local, person who accused of killing people. Are you convinced within yourself that the authorities is making that effort to catch people? We have a caller, we will hear what they say. Good evening. Good evening. Call back, caller. It's 457-9997, 532-9997. We need to have all hands on deck, all voice on air. So you never know who may be listening, and you could influence that person to put together some policy to help us to reduce the negative impact of the killings and the homicide that taking place in St. Vincent and Grenadines. Somebody asked me last week, what you plan to do? Well, me don't start to myself, me just give you outline there that some of the things me implementing to assist myself. 4579997. Let me say a special good evening to Mary. Good evening, Mary. And let me say good evening to Rat. Oh, and I met a gentleman this morning at VG's Prime Line. I can't remember if I asked him his name. He was so excited to meet me in person because he said he listened to the program religiously. And young man, you know who you are. He goes to the beach every morning. And that's all I can remember that you say. And let me say a special good evening to Randy Kirby, former custom officer, custom exile, you listen. And Carlan, oh, I haven't seen him for quite some time. He living down in Camel Park, one of those custom officers who spun their web right on the program. And let me say good evening to Debbie. Debbie, good to know that you're listening. And I hope my sister Anne-Marie is listening, and let Crystal and Destiny know that their uncle is doing relatively okay. I'm doing much better. And Charlene and Valerie, good to know that you guys are listening. And thank you all for all the support. And on behalf of the management and staff of PFM, we really appreciate you in our listening audience, because without you, the program would not be fruitful enough. And all those persons who don't call but listen, a special welcome to you. We know that you are in our listening audience, and we really applaud that. And when you meet me here at the end of the way and tell me that you listen but you don't call, I encourage you to call, but at least we know that the listenership is wide. Oh, Lavon, somebody say, we tell her hello. You'll be surprised. Lavon, what is that? Hello, they say, they love Lavon. I say, Lavon name is Lavon, so Lavon have for some love. Now she partying, winning. She can have this hospitality like a pit bull, after all. 4579997 to be a part of tonight's program, which is currently sponsored by Basil's Bar. He's downstairs the Cobblestone in Kingston, just outside the extreme left of the Magazine Hotel and somewhere in Musty Mainland. It's good to know that we, as Vincent, are paying attention to Basil's, and we hope he continues to spend his hard-earned money on this program. So let me continue my discussion because nobody seems to be calling, but I was just telling Kamal, we have a caller. Good evening.
Kingsley, good night.
Good night, good
I'm
night.
sorry for you, so let me call. You call like nobody ain't studying you tonight. So let me call, because remember you always saying, who not call and who this not call.
Well, I hear you talk about me on Star FM, so they say Miss Murphy and Miss Malone, you listen, so good to know that.
Yes, so I said let me call you because like nobody ain't seems to studying you tonight.
Somebody tell me to tell you hello. A guy named Becker, mate, he said me tell you hello. Wow.
Who back with me?
He just said...
The man who champion me Prime Minister? Yeah, I need that friend.
He is your best friend now.
Oh, your friend, hello, give me far.
What do you mean, the man love you?
Love me? Me
Yeah.
out to love?
Your name is Lavon, you know?
Of course, sweet, nice Lavon. I'm nice to mess with.
I hear you, Lavon. So how you doing?
Good night, Becca, mate.
Becker, mate, listen.
Me good.
Mm-hmm. So,
Why you nobody ain't calling the program, man, or why not?
well, remember you and Dr. Ralph Gonzalez said things so people can buy the money for...
Our program, a morning time, Kingsley. You must check the live program. It's all up to 3, 4 something before even my PM could come on. The live done live up to 2 something.
But
our program, our trip morning program must be real active.
I wrote
and the amount of people that will be on the program, and even when it coming to the end, people now want to leave.
I wrote him, asked him to come here with one of these nights, but because he lives in quite in gas, he see he has to get an extra driver to give him some assistance. So one of these days, Dr. Gonsalve, former Prime Minister, will be on this Tuesday program. I promise you that, okay? Yes.
Okay then.
Yes.
Well, if you say so.
I asked him, he said so. So I'm hoping.
Well, if we want him going, he can't go in. I'm telling you.
But I know you will tell him to come in here, because you will be listening for sure. Yeah.
Well, my PM good man, he good.
Yeah, no,
he good.
I saw him a couple of days ago. Yeah.
Good, I tell you, he's real good.
Yes, yes.
He has nothing to worry over.
Not one thing.
No.
All the worries about
the program, the people in calling him, man, going on, man. All the call Kings the program tonight.
So, thank you for your advertisement, Lavon, they're going to call.
All right.
Yes, yeah. Thank you for calling. Enjoy your evening, yes. So, Lavon, beg all for call, okay? Lavon, so she leaves, so we talk for all. Lavon, one call in here. Good evening. Good evening.
That's my number one fan there. My number one radio fan just come up there.
Hey, Queens, how you go, Queens?
A lady that know more about me than I know about myself.
Well, that's why she's so special to you.
Yeah, you say you get people right. You talk about night time or day or any time?
Mainly between 7 and 8 o'clock at night, so I'm going home.
Oh, okay. But if it's the daytime, you get them right.
Yeah, if it's the daytime,
right.
Yeah, because I can recognize you. I ain't lose the sight yet, so I recognize you.
Yeah, but technically you're not supposed to get your body right, because you're a higher taxi, so you get a free ride.
Well, I just tell them so sometimes in Queens that when they start me, they say, that's your free mark on this. They say from Freedom, you know. This is from Fair Hall. So Fair Hall means you have to pay your fare for go. Yeah. So how's everything, man?
It's hot now, and today was really hot here. The summertime coming up.
Okay.
It's no more cold. It's hot now today. Hot.
Yeah, well,
extra hot.
Make sure you get your air condition provider come and put it in your property for you, so because the electricity bill is still reasonable. Prices ain't gone up yet.
Yeah. Hello. I'm gone. I'm sorry.
No, you're cut off. No, you're still there. You're still there, Queens.
I'm still there. Okay, yeah. My phone went off there. Yeah. That picture that Honest Cook put on his website some weeks ago. Kingston dead. You saw it in front of the police station. Nobody.
That was something that Honest posted recently.
Yeah, I think it was last week or week before. I saw a picture in front of the police station. Nobody on the street.
Well, I didn't pay attention, but I'll look at it to see if it's really a manifestation, the truth, or is it just fiction? Because I hear people saying that things really slow. But this time of the year is normally a slow period, so it's probably what is expected. But when Carnival come and they going into
busy up, yeah.
Yeah.
He should have do a video. He should have do a video instead. It's just a picture that thing. Yeah, he should do a video. Because I mean, there might be nobody in front of the police station, but if you turn around the camera opposite, you might see people walking opposite there.
Yeah, and
I see people all the time.
And a picture tell a thousand.
I go in Port of Spain already and don't see nobody on a block.
Okay.
More than one block.
Okay. Yes.
So he should have post a video. And it probably was a Wednesday because I think the PM was on the time.
Okay.
And I know Wednesday is normally slow. I know a person that had a business on Wednesday. They used to close half day because it used to be real slow on a Wednesday.
Yeah. I have a friend who have a restaurant, so she don't open on Monday. So I asked her today, why you don't open on Monday? She said, too much leftover food.
It's slow.
Too much leftover food from a Sunday. So she don't open. She don't open on a Monday. Yeah.
She don't Monday, but she open the rest of the week.
She open Tuesday to Saturday, but she don't open on Monday because she say people are too much.
And what about Sunday? She don't open Sunday?
She open on a Sundays too. but she don't open.
Right, so 6 days, she open 6 days and just Monday she close.
Yes, she said, from her experience, there's a lot of leftover food. Well, I don't know, because I don't have
Yeah, well, yeah, I know a restaurant like that in Queens, a Trinidadian restaurant. It's the most popular restaurant in Queens, because people come from Brooklyn, people come from New Jersey to come there. Yeah. There's a roti shop, and you see people line up outside to get in there. How it's so popular, but Monday they're off.
Yes.
But I believe they probably want to give their staff a rest, because that place is really, really busy, I'm telling you.
Yes, man.
Yeah. All right, so later.
Okay, take care, Queens. Yeah, 4579997 to be a part of tonight's program, which is sponsored by Basil's Bar. He's downstairs, the Cobblestone, obliquely opposite the... Good evening.
Kingsley.
Hey.
How are you doing, buddy?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Okay. It's good. I wanna say something here, right?
Yeah, man.
When I was a much younger individual growing up, I had 4 homes, right?
Yeah.
4. Yeah, and I could name them for you.
You were a rich man?
My biological home with my parents.
Yeah.
Church. Right. School.
And the community.
And the block.
Definitely.
When I said the community.
Yes.
There is no way I could have done anything and argue up with these elderly people and go home. It's otherwise I get in the rat.
No, I agree with you, because it's a guy from Billy, we used to call him Short Pants Hope. If I talk to Lord, my father know. If I ride a cat, my father knows. So, and when my father used to react in a way just for him to feel that his friend is doing him a good favor, and my mother just say, "Man, forget about he is trying to waste your time." But I agree with you that the community could mold a child and make a difference in a young man, a young woman's life. I agree with you.
Of course, and the next thing I like to say, right? Somebody and I speak and without any apologies, okay?
Yeah.
Somebody's parent knows what their children involved in.
Yes.
And instead of they rebuke them, they should gasp under the fire.
Definitely.
You know? And I said to myself, some of these parents should be locked away because they're causing more problems than try to solve the problem. I could speak of some things, but I don't want to speak on air to get WFM into any problems.
Yeah.
It's very sensitive. And the other thing I like to say is the custom should be more aware of these barrels, containers, whatever, coming through the custom. Because a lot of these instruments come through the custom.
No, I agree with you. We have a free barrel mentality in St. Vincent, and we be surprised of some of the merchandise that come through, because if you go through to clear a barrel in the customs and the customs officer do their job, well, I think and so people just, because of the hostility come towards the customs officers, they just do a random check, and that is when the merchandise come in and create the negative impact. Because when I was small, my father had an illegal firearm. You know how you bring it in? Through a barrel. So yeah. I know what you say making sense.
And the next thing is that this Christmas coming up here, the present government if they want to stay with that $20 fee, they raise it to $100 per barrel.
Why?
Because it have people who selling 10 and 20 barrels in other people's names and only paying a little fee.
You don't take the Customs and Excise Department. They know that because they walk around and make an assessment of the street in Kingston, but they know that. But if the policy is some government that they're encouraging some entrepreneurial business, you have to give some people the green light to try to make a living, and the money that they're making is not from illegal substances and things like that. So you have to consider them people who are trying to make an honest living. Because a guy, I was driving somebody today, when they reached at Rottermill, they asked me, that big house on the hill up there, you know who it is? I told them, the proceeds from building the house come from agriculture, and the money are clean money. And the person said, you know? I said, of course I know. The person work hard for their money, and he has a fascination with big houses, so he like big houses. So while I share your position, and I don't necessarily agree with it, okay?
Yes, Kingsley. I mean, we have to disagree to agree.
Yes, sir.
But what the reason why I said that, okay? People are deterring the people who are working in the custom for too long.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time enough for the country to put a hand on whatever is causing the problem. Because you can't tell me things.
I agree with you.
Yes, I totally agree. Listen, you can't tell me. You come here, you pack 10 barrels. You put one in Kamal name, one in some other person name, blah, blah, blah. But you are the person who clearing all barrels. That is the problem. If one allowed to you, one allowed to you. That's why I say raise it to $100, so it would deter them from 10 and 20.
All right. Well, that time is coming, and custom officers and guards listen to this program, so they may suggest to their senior custom officers that we need to make a recommendation to increase the 25 to 105. Yeah.
Look, I'll go cry because he won't get the Christmas gift. Yeah. Oh, Kingsley.
Hey.
I emailed a couple hardwares to get some price lists.
Yes.
So I'm doing my research.
Yes.
Soon as I get the price list, soon as they email me back, I'll see what's going on.
Okay. Yeah.
So you take it easy.
Yes, man.
Thanks for taking my call.
Okay,
and continue to love on.
I appreciate you, man. Okay, all right. We have another call. Yeah. Good evening. Good evening, Max.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Now, while I hear it, you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, while I hear what the last caller is saying, increase the barrel fee to, again, a serious feedback, boy.
No, but
let me hang up.
But we hear you loud and clear. You know? We have no feedback. We already heard you. So you see if you
hold on, let me turn on my Bluetooth. I mean, if it's chop, hello?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Hello?
Max, we hearing you good.
Boy, you know something going on. Let me hang up and call back, eh?
Yes, okay. All right. Okay. Right. 4579997. Good evening. Max Oy.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you now, Max. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Look like Trump being trying to sabotage the thing, but then can't go with Vincent. No, we bless. So while I hear what I call it before saying more up the price on the barrels, that is a okay suggestion. But if me had 20 barrels coming in Tom, Dick and Harry name, all I gonna do is increase the price to my products to cover the $100 costs. So that I really ain't gonna solve no. So instead of charging a man $5 for something, I go charge him $5.50. And do that for 20 items and make back $100. So the $100 gonna be a temporary inconvenience for the licorice people and them who are bringing 20 barrels and take advantage of the system. What they need to do is, like you say, how the customs officer go out there and see who's selling what, and then impose a fee for if you're out there illegal, if you don't have a proper license to sell this. We have to put something in place to make the vendors pay their fare to society, because everybody wants something for nothing. If you charge them a little money to put back into the system, so when they're old in age now, they go say, boy, you little money we could prop up NIS, for example. But when they bring in things and they don't pay their fair share, and then they want to sell the thing at them the same price as the people that who paying duty on the thing at them, that is unfair to the business owners. Not knocking no food out of nobody Mount Kingsley, because people have to eat.
Max, you know something I noticed in Kingston? Some of these stores have an outside market, you know, because they're getting so much competition with the people on the street.
Competition, you have to get creative. Yes, you have to move with the flow. You have to evolve. It's called evolving as a business. They think me go get donkey cart in today's age, go pull tourists and Kingsley have nice Lexus there.
No, you're right. That the people them on the street getting creative. They go into the store, they window shop on your price, and they sell it for probably $5 less than what you have it. Because I can remember. Yes. I can remember a lady went by a particular store to buy a dress to wear to a wedding. When she go upstairs by this lady place, the dress dropped it for $250, you know. And she go downstairs and sell it just for less than what it really worth, and she get everything sell like hot bread.
But it's not really, you see, and I understand it might not be what it was, you know. She was able to make a less profit than his store, because he store her rent, he store her electric, he store have to pay her staff, and she don't have to pay nobody. So her overhead in realistically is less than the store. Just like when Rainforest come and get concessions for fish, Rainforest could afford to sell the fish cheaper than the next man have to pay concession for the equipment. So that's the bigger picture. Rainforest come get concession here, concession there, concessions everywhere. But the next man now had to pay concession for his same equipment at Rainforest. In order for him to break even, he have to sell it higher than Rainforest, because he get 30 years of concession. That's why I didn't agree with the agreement we make with Rainforest, but business is business. Yes. You know what I'm saying? But what we need to do is sit down and have an honest conversation. Everybody, the vendors, the store owners, the lawmakers, sit down and have a conversation, an argument, a dialogue, and you say, this man want this, that man want this, the other man want this, and we all come to a common ground, and everybody will be happy. And at the end of the day, the customers could afford to have a proper living. Okay. And big up Lavon. And Lavon, who we call all this, everybody must call it.
Lavon?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And Lavon, she did. That my friend and I, me tell you something, how people them in you just sell bread and fish and all them things. They need to up the price. Since me 2 years old, them the price is same. Yeah, but there are a lot of people.
Mama tell me that we is get best drinking Marby and Liu.
The best bar in the world.
Yeah, in the world. But Lavon and father and Sappy father. Yeah.
Brother. So me want them, if I want body, me need to up them price and show the and Marvick and YouTube. That way, me tell them, I love when you should go at it harder than Kingsley. And when me find out how people them, me say, boy, me have to stop cause with a woman here. How people them save me. When my grandmother cook canned pork and fish, I mean, I show them used to go and thief out the money out the shop and go buy hard dough bread. and Marty. So big up Lavon one time, eh? So when I see Lavon and I argue with him, I'm his sister. You can't do nothing for the Labour people. I'm his sister, me love him. Lavon, I love you.
All right.
Later.
All right, Mark, you have another
yes,
call.
I.
Yeah. You have another call now. Hey, good evening.
Hey, good evening, Kingsley.
Hey, Becker, mate. I miss you, man. I haven't heard of you for about 3 weeks now, man.
Yeah, I was I was a little busy.
Oh,
but I like to say
you're making some money you're making some money under the new administration. Things are good, man.
No, I'm not looking for anything. I just I'm looking for what's best for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Well,
I'm looking for what's best.
Yes, well, I hope your profession bringing some success anyhow, though.
Yeah, yes. But I like to say first, good night to you, good night to Kamal. You have a big smile on your face, Kingsley. Things nice, huh?
Yes.
And I guess I could say good night to my newfound friend, Lavon.
Well, that is what it's about. It's about sharing the love across the board regards to your political opinion, because Lavon has made a 360 turn, and we have to appreciate her for her effort. Okay, she let the politics get the better of her, but she's much better than when she to support the ULP. So welcome, Lavon. Welcome to the ULP camp, the NDP camp.
Right. And at the end of the day, that's what it should be about. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It shouldn't be no individual or any party. It should be for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
I agree with you. Yes.
But I would like to start off by digging up the police. For the job they done over the Easter weekend, especially in Beckwith. They did really well. I mean, I look at the way the police handled themselves, and there was no incident to that I know of, because and everyone seems to enjoy themselves. We had thousands and thousands of people converting in Beckwith.
Definitely, yes.
And we have to take our hats off to the police for the job that they have done.
Yes.
We can't always beat them up when things are going bad. We have to give them their praises when they do things the right way. So from me, I like to say a big thank you to the police officers. Policing is very, very hard.
Yeah.
Policing is very hard work. And I really want to thank them.
Yes. Yeah, we support your thoughts, okay? Right.
Yes, and one thing I'm concerned about, though, Kingsley, is the amount of fire incidents we're having in St. Vincent.
Oh, yes.
Obviously.
That evaded my thought, in truth, because we had a fire in Caracas, one in Stubbs, and then we had one in Powers Avenue where a sister station had some problem there. You know what I mean? This fire issue is frightening, in truth, and I hope that it could be lessened than it increased recently. So yes, I agree.
Yes, and it's very concerning. It's very concerning. I don't know if there's an arsonist on the loose or this is just coincidental, but it's something we have to all take very serious.
No, and I agree with you. I agree with you that the Royal Service and the Grenadines Police Force and the fire department will have to pay close attention to what you just said, because I don't know if an arsonist is wrong doing something that he or she shouldn't do, but the concern you expressed, I share your concern with the issue of fires that are taking place in recent time. I agree with you.
Yes, please, yeah. And, I like to second the major. Some people are making waves up because the major talked about giving the cadet arresting powers, police powers. I mean, I think the major is onto something. Not even the cadet. I think he should also, the prison warden, should be able to have arresting powers, because you have more boots on the ground, and more eyes, people, because if they need training to be being in the way to arresting people or to deal with issues, then we can have them trained. But I think I agree with Major that the cadet, and I would second it with the prison wardeners need to be trained to act on behalf of the police. Because in other states they do the same thing. Yeah, so I don't see anything wrong with that.
Okay, so you think that they should consider giving him his thoughts on consideration in terms of giving those persons powers of arrest?
Yes, yeah, I think the major's onto something good. I think it should be something that we experiment and see how it works. You know, it's working in other states. You know, so why not try it in St. Vincent? We have a serious crime issue going on. We have a serious problem.
Somebody's asking you, what's your thought on giving that sort of incentive to the auxiliary police force?
Well, yeah, even the auxiliary. I mean, because they'll have more. For me, I'll say the auxiliary police, the prison wardens, and the cadets, because you'll have more boots on the ground, more people, because these people live in the community. And they can see, some of them will be able to see certain things happening. They may be able to stop it. If someone is about to commit a crime and they see auxiliary police or they see a prison warden and they know they have the same authority like the police, I'm sure they'll think twice before they go ahead and do what they want to do.
Yeah, definitely.
But we have a serious problem. And Kamal, I'm still waiting to hear that hit for 2026. You know, I know you're a good writer and a good producer. I'm still waiting to hear that hit for 2026. All right.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, Kingsley, have a good night, and again say good night to my good friend Anta and my newfound friend Lavon. Good night, Kingsley.
Thank you for calling. Beckwith, I appreciate you making those efforts there. But hey, what you say makes sense. I believe that some serious consideration should be given to the theory which is recommended by Sinclair Laycock. I hear some people saying that he has to understand when he was a member of that cadet, it is different now. But we could go to Parliament, he's the Minister of National Security, he could amend certain things and make the act stronger. So whenever he talk, he could talk from some level of authority to make sure that people are being protected. Because let me tell you something, as you say, if it have more boots on the ground, more people are going to feel safer. And all these senior commanders of the different organizations he mentioned must know, should know, about the individual exploit of the people who work, how committed they are, what they're doing, and what they can do to make a difference to the issue of crime and criminology. Like I say, it's up to all of us to come, and all of us necessarily mean me, you, and you. All the authorities from a security standpoint need to come together to make an effort. Because I heard that Gonzalez said something some time ago, and I agree with him. On the way to stops, on the way to the international airport at Argyle, it have a guy that's fixed air conditioning in the road. Fixed vehicle in the road. And if you make that, and I'm making it here, tomorrow when you pass the Hawk, I want to show to you. But hey, they're right there, because if a superintendent of police from the traffic used to live there and still live in the area and see that happen and did nothing about it, the man right to do what he did. Fixing vehicles in the road. The man applying a trade of fixing air condition in the road. Immediately after you make the right to go to my former superintendent, scratch it. And if you talk about that, you become public enemy. And it have too many people parking their vehicle. Anyway, any place, the road to the airport is a highway. And it must be treated like that. And you can't have police dropping off workers to the Aga International Airport, past people parking anyhow. And when you tell them, officer, if somebody park, will be a police, leave police to do police work. This is what they tell you, you know. So you mustn't have no comments or commentary to make on what you see taking place. People understand the road to the Argyle Airport is a highway. That's what they call it. And it must be treated as one. And people must understand that you can park anyway and do anything you feel like. Here's something that's annoying me real bad. Just above the Polytechnic stops, the vans are coming from Kingston. What did they do? The road, and they disembark the passengers to the dangerous side where the ongoing traffic is going to the Argyle Airport or coming to Kingston. That happens every single day. And you know, you got police station about 5 minutes away. You know. One time I see a guy park a vehicle. And I call the number plate of the vehicle here, not knowing that the vehicle don't change. You the reformer owner come here with a cry baby attitude and telling the big man here that they call the man name on radio. Here, no, the vehicle don't sell it now. And this new owner park in the vehicle discriminating in the road. But he come on here with this cry baby attitude to see if you could create some negative impact. So they could do what they feel like. Indicating if you go right and going left. 4579997. It's 29 minutes, 30 seconds after 9. You listen to WeFM, the Queen Fresh song. We are located at Windy Point, St. Vincent and the Grannies. I haven't heard from my friend, I don't know if she's up there. Jacqueline Jordan and Val Matthias. Mommy, I don't know if you guys are wrong. Good evening.
Kingsley, good afternoon. How are you?
Everything is okay.
Yes, I comment to two points with you. Right?
To
when
fight,
a man kill,
you come to fight
somebody,
with me, say?
No, I comment to ask you, I comment to tell you two things.
Oh God, that is a fight.
When a man kill a person on the spot, that is murder.
No.
When a man kill the person, everything, shot him up, and he start with 24 hours before he died, that is manslaughter.
The person who killed somebody on a spot could be it don't have to be a murder. A murder is a premeditated thought that you're planning to kill me. That is premeditated. Somebody drives down the road. Somebody drives down the road with a vehicle and knock it down and they get killed. How that could be a murder?
No, but then when that boy asking you how you gonna do the man planning to kill him. Driving a vehicle and chopping up a man is two different things, you know. I shooting a man, you know.
So let me ask you something, you know. Somebody break into my house about 7 times. When I catch you post, when I catch you post, because I plan to catch you post, you know. I must ask them where they come from and tell them, go ahead, don't come back.
No, because you might be a sergeant for ask them and a sergeant for get rid of you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
You know, Mr. Wynn, the other went by a particular place, I ain't call the name. I see a young lady stand up by the entrance of the British place. I go to the security and say, you pay attention to the lady up there. He tell me no, she waiting for somebody. You know what happened? The thief man don't walk over the wall and go me back at the people in my apartment, you know. So she was the lookouter.
She was the bodyguard.
Yeah. She was the lookouter.
So
hey, they come in.
Waiting for somebody.
Thief people, them I tell you.
But she was the person watching for him.
Yes.
Yes, and the next thing I want to ask you, tell you, about 6-7 years in Parliament. At that time, I'm with crime now. About 6-7 years in Parliament. I heard Mr. Rickard in Parliament saying that he was done in that 2000 and a guy come and approach him and ask him for $20 to buy shot for a gun. And what do you think he should have done when the guy told him that?
I heard that statement already, but here what happened. That statement was blown out of proportion, like what you doing now, because you have your axe to grind.
Out of proportion.
You have your axe to grind with sinking the acre.
No axe to grind because listen, now down to last week or week before. I hear one of the same people and the entire government now saying if the Prime Minister we're bringing crime so much crime in the country. I heard someone and one of the ministers had said so. You heard that? You never heard that?
Yeah, tell me.
Huh?
No, I hear what saying that. Somebody say hold his mic too close to him out. That's why his song some floats. So you could ease back the mic.
Okay.
Right.
I said that between last week and week before.
Yeah.
One of the ministers is saying the crime is going on now start from the NDP, from the ULP government. And was.
No,
That's what they're saying last week and week before.
I heard that statement, and that statement is foolishness. Not more than utterance foolishness. I hear this statement. I hear the statement say what taking place is a manifestation of Ralph's inability to deal with the issue.
I'm telling you,
stupidness.
I no action going when I tell you about them things. I no action going.
Stupidness.
When I watching the time go by, sitting on the back of the big artist, I sitting on the back of the big.
Yes.
All that is running.
Yes. No, but
I no action going. I wish them could do good. And if they can't do good, and fulfill the promises, because I did what between 114, 15 days since the day. And if not,
No, but some of the things that you say make sense because we can't be pointing our fingers every day at individual politicians for the perceived failure and join the negative. No.
Because look now, that's Mr. Bronford, which I know he is a guy there, he tell the 6 months, he ain't gonna do it in 60 days. He gonna start it. But that was me now. And he tell you 6 months, 60 days, he gonna do this and he gonna do that. I gonna ask him to myself. He ain't following me. Well, that's why the way he's saying is good that could follow it. But he ain't following me.
Yeah, but let's hope, Mr. Wynn, that they get it right because you and I will benefit if they get it right.
But that's it, not the first time you're me wishing nobody bad because in the country the badness comes out of me too.
Yeah, the border.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, the border is all our own, definitely. I agree with you.
Okay, you have a good night.
Okay, man. Okay, Mr. Wynn, I agree with you that it's a package and we have to unpack it individually, collectively, and we hope that the politicians find the formula to deal with the issue of this negative menace that having this colorful impact on our lives. Good evening.
Yeah, I heard Mr. Wynn say this morning they're firing ULP people and hiring NDP people.
Mr. Wynn said so?
Yeah, he said so on Star this morning.
And you take what he says seriously?
Well, when ULP came to power in 2001, Mr. Yusuf had a list of 600 people that got fired. Right?
Jennifer Yusuf was one of them?
Huh?
Jennifer Yusuf was one of them?
Oh, yeah, she was what, for Vinlek? Yeah, and Sinclair Leacock too, he got fired. He said they gave him, 2 hours to clear his desk and return the car keys as soon as they came to power.
When you have political appointees and the party change, that is what is expected. Because... And
then your friend... Go ahead, sorry.
If and when the next election is called and the Europe win back, you think we will have a Kenton chance at the...
Of course, that's the first one he's going. He'll be the first on the list. Patel was gone. Bennett Fredericks, she'll be gone. The guy from England there, or the guy from England used to say Brent Brentford.
Yeah, he's
from the outside.
He's my cousin. His name is Britton Horn.
He'll be gone. All the people will be gone, man. and then your friend Lavon some weeks ago, she said, "Oh, the wicked, the Fire Marvin." Remember with the three teachers?
Yeah.
The three teachers, they made agreement. The teachers made agreement with the government. They're gonna get back their job.
Dr. Gonzalez, that was aspirational.
Yeah. He said, "I'm not gonna even give a hand to help them." He said so. He said, "I'm gonna hand to help them," and they go to court. They win the case, and it took probably like 10 years for them to get paid. One the guy died before he could collect the money.
Yeah.
That wasn't wickedness to have on. None of that. So you see, our people are hypocrites.
I don't know if they're hypocrites. They probably have a different tunnel vision and looking at things than you do.
Yeah, Kenton Charles, Luther should have been the first person to go when the NDP come in power. And I expect if ULP get back in power, Kenton Charles will be the first person to go. I have no problem with that.
Here's something in Luther, right? When Luther was accused of the yellow clothes in the funeral, you remember that? What happened is what I expected to happen.
Yeah, but it took too long. It took 2 months for them to get rid of Luther. So they get rid of Luther the next day.
you too mean, man. You too mean. Yeah. But I don't. Hey, what Queens? When I heard the European supporters at some time used to accuse Kenton Chance of being somebody who have political agendas, right? When I heard his name came up for a position
in Taiwan,
you could have knocked me down with a feather, because I thought that Kenton Chance was impartial and full of integrity when it come to, but he also has an agenda. They all have an agenda, you know.
Yeah, you do have. I admit you have some bit of bias to the NDP. I'll agree to that. Okay. I agree, but he have more. But if you want to compare him with Cecil Ryan is all ULP. Cecil Ryan had no impartiality on him at all. Well, no impartiality at all, Cecil Ryan. So I will tell
you something, Queens.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make any comments on Cecil Ryan, because Cecil Ryan is a part of VFM Sunday program,
VFM,
right?
Yeah.
But he what happened? I will leave it there. You just figure it out.
Yeah. Cecil Ryan, you only see things one way. If you say something, you don't have no proof of what you say. But if Gonsalves said, you don't challenge it.
Yes.
Like everything Gonsalves says is true for him, or you know. All right, so later, bye.
All right, Queens, yes. We have another caller. Good evening.
Good evening to you, Mackenzie. I doing a quick call.
Yeah, Patsy.
Yes, thank God that my name. Sincerely, God will name me that name. So
okay.
I'm proud of that. Quickly.
Yeah.
The guy will talk about the barrel. He ain't care about people, neither intention, because in St. Lucia, every Christmas, around Christmas time, I can't make this carry up to January, February, it's free barrel. No, not even $25 you pay.
They are free barrel right through?
And right through. Okay. I have a sister down there, I know that.
I go there.
Free barrel.
We got to go down to look for Christmas, you know. Get someone free barrel.
And in Lucia, duty free, without any money added to it. Now, the former government put it to $25, right? And he have a heart to carry it up too, because of so much people being barrel. The same thing going on in other countries. One body claim more than one barrel. The point is that he wants it to go up to 125.
Yeah.
But they start to criticize the government to say, oh, if the former government was there, they want to do that. And come on, as a bunch of hypocrites. Let me tell you something. You have to, before you talk about stuff, consider other people. Anybody can come to one place.
I know Max listening to you, and he will probably give you your thoughts on consideration. But strange enough, I agree with him that they should have an increase on the prices for barrel. Too much. He says it's losing too much money, and we have to find some money because if you walk around
something. No, but what said, if NDP right now do that, I'm gonna watch Long Island on Sunday. So they ain't good. They promise they go reduce, and now they're carrying up. Come on, man.
You're afraid they will call NDP one town papa? But they write it on the wall, Be careful.
I have no straight car, thinker. Before my credit done. Hear what I have to say. I'm waiting for UNP to have one term, they want to have one term. That's them in that. Let me tell you something. And ULP who waiting to get in there. You are going in there right now. Let me tell you something. You are going in there right now. And I don't care who vexed me, who hear my voice. That is I don't care who vexed right now, who upset. Let me tell you something. You are the people out there who say that is increased barrels, you are this wicked, and I have no heart in nobody. I want to give people bad, and I want to pull them down. I ain't find nothing to excuse right now. So I want excuse right now. Yeah. How things run, let it run. May God bless you. Other countries, some countries give the nation free barrels, and they will move they want.
Okay, you used to call my program in Europe time. You never want to credit. Now your party in power, you want to credit. You talk about barrel. I support Max increased thing, man. Hello.
Can you just give me a minute to make clear something there?
Yeah.
What I just speaking about, they were hiring the people. If you have consulate, ambassador, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
A government should just get in office to the point them people to go oversee and act for them.
Yeah.
To farm for them, right?
Yeah.
All right or wrong?
No, you're right.
Okay, good. But what I am speaking about, what I want this guy to understand, what I am saying. You know Leroy Chandler. You know him?
Who?
Leroy Chandler.
Leon. Yeah, of course I know Leon.
All them fellas there and some other people who I meet from Richland talk and all about what they tell, where they walk in housing. People who been working health with their small labor work and things.
So Leon,
and you're showing them out and bringing your own people and then telling me where you get them.
Yeah, but remember both let me say pass have a Christian and picnic first and so if Leon not
but then if you're going to go take on a job. Put job for them, like job for them.
If Leon not NDP picnic, you have to go.
The family the money they get in.
Yeah.
You see, so it is consulate ambassadar welcome. I disagree with them for doing that.
Yes.
Because putting them for doing your thing what you want to do. But then when you come and tell them man going to watch man walk up, man tongue walk and all them things, and you're replacing them.
Already.
It comes to me like you're gonna hold before the home.
Yes. Okay,
okay, good night.
Right, okay. 4579997 is a part of tonight's program. That's the number you find us here. And Janet Matthews, good evening to you. I haven't heard for quite some time. And what about my friend of Warner? Is Warner Hill? No, not Warner Hill, Robertson Hill. Yeah. Good to know how you listen. I must call to say how you listen. Just to how you listen, let me feel good now. Never drive all the way come on here and all the call to say. Yeah, shout out Anne-Marie and Destiny and Valerie and Charlene and Claudia and yes, Winston, I know I see you online. It's good to know that I got my family up there, my sisters Anne-Marie and Valerie. I noticed that what's her name is there? Claudia, Miss Payne, Mrs. Payne. Good evening, Mrs. Payne. Yeah, good to know you're there. What about Colleen Walker, the freighter? And all those people, non-supporters. We love all of you. All of you come and make me feel so nice. All of you make me head swell. Hey, what happened? I got another 5 more minutes because tomorrow is the day when I go to my placard. Thank God for Ralph Gonsalves. Tomorrow promised to be a big day where we have all the international flights, some of them making the final flight for the season until the next season starts. I think Delta is going to reduce the flight back to 1 only on Saturdays. I'm expecting that Virgin will go back to 2 and then initially to 1. But as the traffic increase, we will have more persons coming to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And more flight come, and more love for Ralph Gonsalves. Thank God that Ralph Gonsalves did what he had to do to build the airport so he could put food on a lot of us table. And who don't like to hear that? Too bad for them. Thank God for. Yeah, it comes at the end of the season, which is at the end of April. Yeah, but there is a theory on the ground that we should have a start early this year in August because of what taking place further. Some of the ships planning to come down to this part, so we have to try to make it work and let it come down and spend a part of the money down here. They pay the pieces of US dollars, man. Hello, it's 11 minutes, 30 seconds. Well, I don't normally ply my trade at a tourist boat. I mean, my father not doing it, so it's not anything shortcoming. It's just it's not a tradition, so I don't normally go. Yeah, but it benefits people. I heard 1-2 persons saying it was as good as they thought it would have been, but I think they were from the greedy bunch. Yeah? They want to get a van full of tourists every time the boat come and do it, hardly do anything. So you get the negatives, right? But well, like I said earlier tonight, we coming to the end, and hey, so far so good. We haven't had any report of tourist-related incident, and that is why I use that stick to say that we have and having a good tourist season, and we hope that Vincent Shan could continue to express their togetherness, their love for the people. Because let me tell you something, when the tourist dollars come here, every single Vincent Shan is impact. You have this coconut guy who sells coconut water opposite the orange container. He does extremely well. The price goes up a little bit there, but too bad. The red belly cake by Seeker Grace, that's a delicacy. Some people try to copy it, but they only have plenty color and no taste. Seeker Grace red belly taste is the best, okay? And no advertisement for VJs downtown, but you have to give credit to where true they try their best to make sure that Vincent Shan local cuisine are being disseminated. And Basil's Bar, Basil's Bar. I had a club sandwich the other day. Kingsley, what's a club sandwich? Oh, it's something that we just call burger and fries. But it has a different twist there. The fries is not as plain as the regular ones. They have a twist on it, so we call it club sandwich, and it is nice thing. So it just happened. And other places that we don't mention because they don't pay for advertising, they are benefiting, and we hope that they will continue to exploit the situation and sell the product that they're offering with sensitivity. The airport, the airport, Cinque de Caxi, when they watch out there, it's less than America that Ralph Gonsalves has accomplished. And we must remember for what it's worth, and the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is, I look at the security staff and I'm beating up on them all the time, Beckermate, and I noticed that they bring on quite a few more people and training, so we should see some improve with the personnel and the skill that they plan to disseminate in the job as security officer. And I am paying close attention to them because I am one of the people who will be making demands on Miss Grace to improve that. But we will monitor it and see what they have to offer. It's time for me and Kamal to go. We want to thank all that has spent the last 1 hour and 10 minutes, 1 minute, 1 hour and 50 minutes with us. I will see you here Thursday morning, 10:30 on the Shaker program. And if you continue to listen to me, you eventually hear me next week, Tuesday. And we gone, and have a great night.
Whatever you are celebrating, birthdays, anniversaries, engagements, retirement, or just celebrating.